Good evening. Please, what questions do you have? Good evening, Pavel Zarubin, Russia TV channel. We are increasingly hearing statements and discussions from abroad from political scientists and officials that the conflict in Ukraine could be ended next year, and everyone is wondering how. And Trump's team is discussing. We have a saying among the people, we should drink honey with your lips. We are also striving to end the conflict. And Trump's team is talking, and they are directly stating that the conflict could be frozen on the condition of a guaranteed delay of 10 to 20 years from Ukraine's entry into NATO. How do you like this formula? And who is saying this? The Trump administration. There are also discussions there with reference to the special envoy for the Ukrainian crisis on this matter. I see. I don't know what the forming team of the elected President of the United States is saying now. I know that the current President Biden told me about this. It is not a secret. Back in 2021, he proposed exactly this to me. To delay Ukraine's admission to NATO for 10 to 15 years. Because it is not ready now. To which I reasonably replied, well, yes, it is not ready today, but you will prepare it and accept it into NATO. In terms of historical distances and time frames, this is an instant. For us, what difference does it make today, tomorrow, or in 10 years? And in this sense, I am not familiar with these statements by the future team of the elected president. But if this is so, then what is the difference between the current administration and the proposals you just mentioned? There is no difference. I do not know how this situation will develop further and what the instructions from the elected president will be to his colleagues in the administration. We will see. Yes, please, Andrei. Commercant newspaper. Vladimir Vladimirovich, tell me, do you expect anything else for yourself and, most importantly, from yourself before the end of the year? This is a vague question. What do you mean by from myself? Andrei, I don't really understand what you mean by from myself. I don't expect anything special for myself. I consider myself a predictable, balanced person, acting according to a plan. This plan of all my actions, the actions of the government, the administration, the central bank, we coordinate all our steps among ourselves, and we act quite stably and predictably. We don't predict anything unusual. It's impossible to predict anything unusual. Someone is waiting for the Oreshnik rocket to take off and land, for example. You understand, we always respond in kind. They use certain weapons against us. We use the same. Well, listen. They used 5 to 7 ATACMS missiles. Did you hear what was said yesterday or the day before? The Russian army responded with a comprehensive strike of 240 or 221 missiles. High-precision long-range weapons. If we need to, if we see that more powerful medium-range weapons are required, of course, we will use them. But we are in no hurry. It is not a secret. We do not hide it, and I have already said that we do not have many Oreshnik missiles yet. But we do have them, and not just one system. But we are in no hurry to use them, because these weapons are powerful. They are designed to solve specific problems. We have started serial production. Now we will produce the amount we need. We will place something on the territory of Belarus. We act systematically. But we do not exclude the possibility of using them today and tomorrow, if such a need arises. Please, I beg you. Vladimir Vladimirovich, a leap year is ending, and, as befits a leap year, it was difficult. What would you like to see next year? What is the most important thing for you? If we talk about Russia, of course, the most important thing is the well-being of the Russian people, the standard of living, stability. In the economic sphere, this is the stabilization of inflation so that we do not have any ups and downs. So that our economic growth continues. My colleagues and I have already agreed on everything regarding this growth. We do not plan for it to be the same as this year, almost 4%. As strange as it may sound, given the macroeconomic realities, we do not need such growth yet. Although, of course, the more, the better, it would seem. But all this must happen within the framework of compliance with macroeconomic parameters. Otherwise, some distortions in the economy occur, which in the long run can ultimately harm us. Therefore, our proposals and plans are balanced. We have a balanced macroeconomic policy. We are counting on further growth in the population's income. Of course, we proceed from the fact that we will solve all the tasks of the special military operation. This is generally the number one task. We will support our guys. We are talking to you, and they are fighting. You know, I won't talk about details now, about specific sections of the front. But when I take an interest, and I do this every day, day and night, in the literal sense of the word, in certain sections, certain events occur. Our guys force water obstacles. Somewhere they do it with the help of technical means, and somewhere without them. I ask the commanders, how do the guys overcome this water obstacle? Waiting. We are standing here, it's warm here, it's windy outside, and here it's warm and light. And the guys are waiting. What is this? They are wading chest deep in water, and they carry machine guns over their heads. They are fighting for Russia. We proceed from the fact that we will achieve success on the line of combat contact, and we will achieve those successes, solutions to those problems in the economic sphere, and it is the basis of everything, and solutions to social issues, military security issues, security in the broadest sense of the word. We will move in accordance with the outline plans. I have reason to believe that everything will be so. You are welcome. Hello, Vladimir Vladimirovich. Happy upcoming holiday to you. UNICEF, Life Agency. You yourself just said that you are constantly in touch with the commanders, day and night. So, you have the most complete information about the situation on the line of combat contact. Yes, the most complete, or not. It is difficult to say, but quite a lot. And you have developed intuition. We have noticed this. What do you believe in for yourself? Do you believe that in 2025 the conflict will end? Naturally, with our victory, I believe in God, and God is with us. What else? You are welcome. TASS Agency, Yulia Bubnova. We would like to ask about Robert Fico's visit to us. He came last weekend. Could you tell us what we managed to agree on? Did you manage to resolve the gas issue with gas supplies to Slovakia and Europe in general? And is it true that he offered his country as a platform for negotiations with Trump? If so, what did you tell him? Thank you. You know, as a rule, we do not make public what we talk about if we agree not to tell the press what we agree on. But I think that Mr. Fico will not be offended by me. Yes, indeed, he said that if the negotiations are on a peaceful settlement, I want to emphasize that Mr. Fico, I do not know. He may have some squabbles with the current Ukrainian leadership, with someone else, in the European Union. Not everything is going well there in terms of mutual understanding. But he first and foremost spoke about a peaceful settlement in the Ukrainian direction. He is in favor of this, as they say. He called for this. So, I don't know what claims could be made against him by Europe or anyone else. But this is exactly what he talked about. This is what he focused on. First. Second, regarding the venue for the negotiations. Yes, he said that if it comes to negotiations, they would be happy to provide his country's venue for such negotiations. And we are not against this. If it comes to this, why not? Because Slovakia takes a neutral position. From our point of view, this position is neutral, and this is an acceptable option for us. Regarding agreements in the energy sector, we have always been in favor of gas supplies. We have always been in favor of depoliticizing economic issues. We have never refused to supply gas to Europe. Have we refused? I have said it 1,000 times. I can repeat. Poland closed the route through its territory. There is an active route there. No one destroyed it. There are no explosions there. It is active. You only need to turn on the button, and that's it. And the gas will go through the territory of Poland. It is called Yamal Europe. It goes directly through the territory of Poland. Please turn it on tomorrow, and we will supply gas. Another route goes through the territory of Ukraine. War is war, but we supplied gas regularly. We paid for it, and we are still paying. By the way, we pay money for the transit of gas. So what? Ukraine took 2 routes there, through Sudza and through Sokranovka. Our troops took control of Sokranovka, and for 6 months, in my opinion, even if not more, everything functioned peacefully. And there were Ukrainian specialists at that checkpoint. They worked there. No one offended them. No one touched them. They functioned there calmly, and everything was fine. Then, for some reason, it occurred to someone in Kiev that they needed to close it. They closed it, under the pretext that Russian troops were controlling it. Well, yes, but what were you thinking 6 months ago? Everything was working, so there must have been some other reasons. I don't understand what those reasons were. Now about Sudza, there are military actions there. The pipeline is actually under Ukrainian control, but we simply continue to supply gas at 14 million cubic meters per day. Do you understand? Nevertheless, despite the fact that they now control Sudza, they announced that they would not extend the transit contract. It wasn't us who said that we were ending it, but they who announced that they would not extend the contract. If they don't, then we don't need it. They are pecking at Europe's hand, as I have already said, because without European support Ukraine not only cannot fight, but also cannot exist. But now they are punishing the same Europe by closing the transit contract for the supply of our gas to Europe. It is not easy for Europe. The price of gas there has already risen to $500 per 1,000 cubic meters. Now we are talking, and I am telling you that there is no contract, and it is impossible to conclude it in 3 or 4 days. There will be none. Prices will rise again there. But we are not provoking this. This is their policy, right? And what is the problem? They announced this, that there would be no contract, that they would not renew it. And then they realized that this was a problem for them. They started to fuss. What did their fuss begin to express itself in? They started to contact, in fact, everyone in a row, so that someone instead of Naftogaz of Ukraine would sign a contract with us for this transit through the territory of Ukraine, so that the gas would go to their border under the control of Gazprom, and through the territory of Ukraine under someone else's control, so that the relevant structures of Hungary, Slovakia, Turkey, Azerbaijan would sign a contract for transit through the territory of Ukraine, and at the border of Ukraine and Europe, so that Gazprom would again sort things out with its partners. The problem is that Gazprom has long-term contracts until 2035 and until 2049. And in order to change the situation related to transit, these contracts must be changed. This is a very complicated procedure. It is a difficult procedure to resolve, unresolvable, firstly. And secondly, there is one more thing. I am telling you this in such detail so that there is no speculation. Let everyone know what we are talking about. Ukraine has closed one of the routes through the territory of Ukraine for gas supplies to Europe. The route through Sokranovka. They closed it, that's all. And we have a ship or pay contract with them. They closed the route, and then they filed a lawsuit against us in court demanding payment for what was not transiting through Ukraine. Gazprom asked them, "Are you crazy or what? You closed this transit." They answered, "Well, we closed the route, but you still pay us money. This is some kind of nonsense." Now they say, let a third party carry out transit through our territory. And they don't want to withdraw the lawsuit from the arbitration court. What will happen? It will turn out that you and I and more than 100 other people, 150 million people, Russian citizens, will supply gas to any European country. But according to the decision of the arbitration court in the so-called non-acceptance order, this money will be withdrawn from us. It will not come to us, but it will go to Ukraine to pay off Ukraine's claim against Gazprom. Well, that's nonsense. We can't allow that. We said that we would supply gas, even if it was Azerbaijan Sokar, or a Turkish company, or a Hungarian or Slovak one. But let the Ukrainians withdraw this lawsuit from the court. What kind of nonsense is that? They said no, they won't withdraw the lawsuit. Well, then go ahead and shave. Live without our gas. We need to finish. You have a red tie. It's for the new year. Thank you. Nikolai Ivanov, Izvestia newspaper, Vladimir Vladimirovich. The Foreign Intelligence Service reported the following at the beginning of the week. Don't scare us, we're already meek. The Foreign Intelligence Service reported that Moldova could become a new hotspot on the map. The Foreign Ministry said the day before that there would be an attempt to destabilize the situation in Belarus, naturally, with the help of the West. Maybe this is a naive question. What should we do to stop these attempts to set our borders on fire? We need to be strong. Happy New Year. All the best. Goodbye.